Hi, I'm Alyia Gaskins, and this is my monthly council report, where I recap important actions and highlights from the previous month. Let's dive into March. First, I'd like to highlight progress on an issue that I became keenly aware of when I brought my infant daughter to many council meetings and public events in 2022. What was the issue? Opportunities to promote and support breastfeeding in our community. I sent city staff a memo with specific requests for short and long-term goals related to breastfeeding support and education. And in March, the council received an update. I'm proud to say that the city is making real progress on breastfeeding resources and support in city buildings, in its HR standards, as well as in the assessment of the overall health of our community. Next, we can't talk about March without discussing the arena. As I said in my February update, the Potomac Yard Sports and Entertainment District could have been a good thing for Alexandria, bringing us 30,000 new jobs and significant new tax revenue. But in order for it to be a good thing, it would have needed to have union jobs, affordable housing, funding for metro and other district transit improvements, and more seats for Alexandria on the Stadium Authority Board. Unfortunately, the city never saw a deal to consider. And now, more than ever, we must turn our focus to identifying and supporting a new economic development and revenue generation path for the city. The Small Area Plan, which was developed in 2010, updated in 2017, and updated again in 2020, is to develop a sustainable, mixed-use community with entertainment, restaurants, retail, residential, and open space. But since this is privately owned land, we don't control what and when something new might develop. The key to developing this site will be finding the next right catalyst, incentives, and public-private partnerships. But this site is only one piece of the larger puzzle of our economic future. This year, as a result of post-pandemic changes in the economy and workforce, our commercial tax revenues were $736 million less than last year. I believe that we need to create a citywide economic development plan that leverages all of our community strengths, from Potomac Yard to Landmark, and I will be working with you to make that happen. Now, let's talk about how Council has been spending so much of our time developing the FY 2025 budget. This will be voted on May 1st, and it will go into effect on July 1st. The choices we make about our city budget are about more than just city services. They are about our values. We need to address education, housing, employment, public safety, and transportation. And we need to do this in a way that keeps vital aspects of our financial stability intact, such as our AAA bond rating. Finally, it needs to be done openly and collectively. It is the hardest of balancing acts. We must decide if and how much to increase our taxes to meet our growing needs. And the truth is, there will need to be some increase in taxes due to rising costs, population growth, and larger economic factors. As a community, we need to decide what we're comfortable with, both in the short term, but also what are the implications for the long term. I believe a 4-cent increase is likely too high, and I'll be working with you and my colleagues to figure out the right number. As a member of council, this week I'm also working to introduce several budget adds for consideration. My first amendment would help support a market rate adjustment for teachers so that ACPS can offer competitive salaries to support the recruitment and retention of teachers. My second would free up funds to support the construction of George Mason and Cora Kelly. This is expensive, but increasing teacher pay and improving our aging facilities is essential. My third would fund a senior outreach coordinator for senior services, because it's important that our seniors are informed of the resources available to them so that they can be supported and connected to our city. My fourth amendment would fund the Youth Safety and Resilience Program so that the voices of our young people can continue to be elevated in our planning of our city's future. I'm also working with my colleagues on several other adjustments to the budget to support senior tax relief, to invest in public safety, and to address our mental health crisis. I'm committed to working with you to meet these challenges. I'm committed to a balanced budget that meets our needs, and I look forward to hearing your feedback as the city budget process continues through the rest of April. As always, please reach out if you have ideas, questions, or concerns. Onward to April.